Yeah, I just accidentally went live to my Facebook page,
Oh, that's good.
which is the first thing that's been posted since I described Cheddar's restaurant as the equivalent of gas
Let's do our
station coffee.
TikTok. I totally cut you off. I'm sorry. Totally totally was listening and said, squirrel. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We are back on rumble.com. Go check us out. All of our folks. I guess it starts over as a new X post too then. Okay, go to at Josh Guillory USA. Love that. Love to see you back. All right. Now, we are talking about Mr. Mahmoud Khalil, a district court judge. He was arrested. He was one of the activists in Colombia on the from the river to the sea type stuff. They don't know if they're talking about the Vermilion River or the Mississippi, Euphrates, Tigris, Jordan, whatever. It don't matter, and they don't know what sea probably either. But Mahmoud probably does. But anyway, he was arrested. I'm just saying, he seemed like he was informed. The sheeple may not be, but he seemed to be. But he was arrested. He was arrested by ICE. He comes to Louisiana. A judge in New York. I think there was some forum shopping. I don't know. I don't know that. But the district court judge says, "Wait, no, you have to release him on bail." Okay. So, wanted by ICE, arrested for breaking the law, and a judge says you got to let him out on bail. Well, the appellate court just said, "No, you can't." That is, it's not that you couldn't rule that way. You did not have the authority to do what you did. And this is yet another example of one unelected individual in a black robe in a district far, far away from most people by design, making policy for the masses. Not how it was designed. But I'm telling you, this matters a lot because we know what folks are going to say. We know what the activists are going to say. They're going to try to make it for speech. They're already yelling, like we said earlier. They're retaliating, or they're trying to repress. What about freedom of speech, freedom of free expression? But the appeals court didn't touch any of that. They didn't even rule on the First Amendment or foreign policy speech, as we discussed. They ruled on who gets to decide what and where. And that is a distinction that we should take note of, because that distinction is everything in this context. If you want a system where immigration law is enforced, it has to run through proper channels. If you want a system where constitutional claims are actually heard, they also have to run through proper channels. So you don't get justice by skipping the process. What you get is chaos and confusion. That's why I said about the Second Amendment analysis. I don't want bad people with bad intentions to have guns either. No one does. I just know writing a law to prohibit that only makes it where law-abiding citizens don't have guns. So only the criminals and the government. And I don't trust either one. You shouldn't either. But if you actually want some order, you want structure, you want the laws on the books enforced, either change them if you don't, or if they are, hey, there are certain protocol and process to keep that. And it doesn't include the judiciary, one person in the judiciary that has jurisdiction over one division in one district. Like, think about this. One division out of one district. Not even the full state, probably. I know that one isn't. And you want to make a rule, and some analysis says, some people believe that they can make rulings that affect all 320, 30, 40, 50 plus million people we have in this country. And here's the uncomfortable truth that a lot of people don't want to admit, and it's true. If judges can override detention decisions whenever they want, based on personal assessments of, quote, extraordinary circumstances, immigration enforcement becomes optional, and you can apply that to any law you want to enforce, I guess, or not. And that is not even a conservative principle or a Republican principle. That is not a progressive principle. That's unstable. Now, Khalil might still fight this. His lawyers are already talking about appeals. Fine. That's how the system works. But what the appeals court did here was actually restore some structure to the process. They put the decision back where Congress and federal law say it belongs. And that's the part we really, I want people to sit with here. Process, that's an important thing. We hear it all the time, and it protects everyone. It should, including the people you sympathize with. You don't want judges freelancing when you agree with them, because you won't like it when they freelance against you. Got to be consistent. And most judges are. Overwhelming majority. Overwhelming majority. But one is too much. And this ruling, not flashy, I get it, but it was disciplined. It was discipline. And discipline is what keeps law from turning into politics with the robe. Constraint. Discipline. Judicial constraint. All right, switching gears. Let's see here. Let's go to the phone lines here. All right, Renee, round two. What you got, Renee?
Yeah, discipline is throwing them damn judges in jail when they mess up. Accountability. That's the problem. This legal, I forgot what you call it. Is you brought it up on your show, this technical term, when they got all this clemency for what they do. When they do what other job, not even a policeman job, when they mess up, do you get away with messing up? That man should lose his job just for trying that stupid stuff. He should be out of there, and we should get some fresh, smarter people, better trained for a judge than that retard.
Renee, you were making points till you said that in the end. Doggone it. All right, let's go to Warren. Warren, what's up, Warren? Oh, and I do want to qualify Warren, before you start. So what Renee was referring to is qualified immunity. Police officers do have that. I just want to correct you on one little thing. In the course and scope, I can go into it. We don't need to. But points well noted. What's up, Warren?
Well, nobody's done it, so you're talking about the post office and confiscating your guns. If they'll steal elections, steal the money, they got to have a reason to steal people's guns. I wonder how many people's lives were ruined, how many people ended up in jail. Are they going to reverse that? And we ought to pass a law saying when someone's guns are stolen, no public official can get them. Make it illegal. And I just want to thank right now, nobody's done it, but I just want to congratulate Louisiana's first black unelected governor, Cleo Fields. They still, the election, even after you have it, Jeff Landry and all them. I guess that's why Trump is sending them down there to be the governor of Greenland, because Cleo Fields done took over the governorship over here. This state is an outrage. They steal everything. When I went to Katrina, the federal government paid me, but John Bel Edwards stole the money, and John Fleming finally got it back to me, but they kept the interest for 15 years because that's what they do. They some thieves, Josh. Thank you.
Thank you, Warren. Boy, that pretty much has a lot of fire in there. Hey, appreciate that. Quite the assessment on the roles. And interestingly enough, there might be a lot of people shaking their head in their car right now. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to finish strong. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're also broadcasting live on Rumble. Go check us out, rumble.com. Look up the Josh Guillory Show. Yeah, we're back. We're back. Shout out to our TikTok viewing audience. Hey, guys, when strength matters, when custom matters, when failure's not an option, you know who I'm talking about. SeaSafe, SEA, just like the ocean. SeaSafe FRP products are engineered to resist corrosion, reduce maintenance, outlast the competition in the harshest environments, from offshore platforms to wastewater treatment plants, everywhere in between. SeaSafe has it under control. Their products, they're American-made. They're manufactured right here in Acadiana by American workers. SeaSafe. Check them out. SeaSafe.com, SEA. Just like the ocean. So let's switch gears here a little bit. Trump floats credit card rate cap. Some Republicans aren't rushing to clap. So let's walk through this one pretty carefully if we have time. And we're going to try to land this one because this is starting to get spun pretty fast. And we don't know where we're going to land. We don't know the outcome, all the things. But so President Trump, let me just break it down. President Trump floated a 1-year 10% cap on credit card interest rates. Now, that alone got a lot of attention, as it probably should. Some folks cheered immediately. Absolutely. Others hit the brakes. And what matters, I think, is not who is right here. It is why the reaction inside the Republican Party has been split. So let's start with the obvious reality. A lot of families are carrying credit card debt. Prices are up. Wages haven't kept pace. Interest rates, look at them. Some of them say still nearly 20%. Some of them. It feels punishing. So that's the environment this particular conversation is happening right now. So this is where things get a little interesting, though. A number of Republicans came out this week and said, essentially, slow down. Not attacking Trump, of course. Not questioning motives. No. We're good. Just raising a few flags, very cautiously in the shadows. Their concern, they say, is how credit actually works. Interest rates exist to price risk, they say. They say that's the baseline. When government caps rates, lenders don't all respond the same way. Some will pull back. Some of them will tighten standards. Some will stop issuing credit altogether. So that's the historical pattern Republicans are pointing to. So that's kind of what the drift is amongst the party. So now that's not a defense of high rates. Absolutely not. I'm just trying to understand this, trying to unpack, kind of explain how the system reacts with the info we got. But this is also where you see kind of the philosophical divide amongst the party right now on this issue. Democrats tend to hear high interest and focus on caps. That is what you normally hear. Republicans tend to hear it and ask why competition isn't driving rates down on its own. And is that really a private sector function anymore? Seems to be a lot of government involved. Because if every major, this is a fair point. If every major card issuer is clustered around the same high number, something in the market isn't functioning the way it should. Now, politically, there's another layer. Democrats have pushed interest rate caps for years. So when Trump floated the idea, some of the left welcomed it, like immediately. Some even praised him for it. And that reaction alone explains why maybe some Republicans are being cautious. When longtime opponents suddenly agree, see, they're going to be here past Trump. So I don't know how, they're kind of like, whoa, hold on. I want to be on record so you can't say I just did anything and everything Trump said. See, I got some wins. I stood up to him. I'm an independent thinker. Doggone, I wish we had more time because look, no bills passed, the policy isn't in effect, but it is something, it is an idea. And when the president speaks, well, folks tend to listen a little bit. at least a little bit. Guys, I thank you for listening and tuning in each and every single day. Man, I had a great 2 hours all day, or excuse me, every day this week. Be careful out there. May God bless you and be kind.